In an interview conducted by Chris Scullion for Video Games Chronicle with Hangar 13 Games' president Nick Baines and game director Alex Cox, the following question was asked. The first 3 games were set in large cities, and although obviously Sicily has its cities as well, I'm assuming the setting leads to a very different type of game, because I'd imagine it doesn't have anything like the cities you'd see in the other Mafia titles. It probably feels like a smaller scale in a sense. And Alex Cox, Hangar 13 game director, replied, "Yeah, and this is something we really wanted as another big point of differentiation, let's say, between Mafia The Old Country and the Mafia trilogy. Let's just sort of group those all together because they've got a similar kind of design," was the setting. Sicily at the time was largely, obviously it has towns, it has cities in it and things like that, but it's predominantly a rural environment with a primarily agricultural kind of setting. This is where the Mafia actually sprung up in history. It was a reaction to, it started on the lemon groves and the farms and such like in the Sicilian countryside, and we wanted that to be the setting for our game. Obviously, it makes it feel a lot different to those kind of bustling city environments of the Mafia trilogy. It's a rural setting, so yeah, we're kind of largely in towns and villages in the game. We've mentioned that the town of San Celeste is the main town of our game world, and yeah, as you'd expect, it's not like bustling city streets with traffic, cars, and pedestrians and things like that. It's riding around on horseback through a kind of more rural environment, and had to visualize that through the beautiful Sicilian countryside. So yeah, it's a lot different in that regard. While the core of the game is a Mafia game in ways that you'd probably expect, that part of the experience is strongly different. Chris Scullion for Video Games Chronicle then said, "And with Sicily being the setting now, I would imagine that the shift to Unreal Engine 5 gives you the opportunity to go wild with landscapes in a way that you maybe wouldn't have been able to do in a kind of more built-up city." Alex Cox, Hangar 13 game director, replied, "Absolutely, yes. In a Mafia game that's set in a city, the thing that we really want to sell is the hustle and bustle of the city. So whether that's New Bordeaux, whether that's Empire Bay, whether that's Lost Heaven, we wanted to really put across that vibe. In Sicily, in Mafia The Old Country, the vibe is very, very different. So the beautiful landscapes, as you say, is exactly what we wanted to deliver, and Unreal's really helped us in that regard. All of those kind of eye-catching new technologies which have come on board with Unreal 5, we're putting them to good use." And that concludes the Video Games Chronicle article by Chris Scullion. For more Mafia The Old Country news, updates, and content, subscribe to Mafia Game videos. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content like this in the future, then please support me because only one person runs this entire channel. If you can't do that, then just subscribe. It's free. Any support, I appreciate. Thank you.